Hello friends, it's Miss Niki here. I'm so glad to see you. I hope you're having a great day. I had a very long day. I woke up really early today. I had a lot of things I had to do. I got most of my chores done. I hope you guys got your chores done today too. I hope you guys worked hard but also had some good fun time too. And now you should be snuggled and cozy and ready for some bedtime stories. Of course, I want to always say thank you to all the author illustrators who are letting us read their stories while we're all at home together. And I've got two of my very favorites that I'm going to share with you guys tonight. One of them is one that I like to read to my elementary friends, so some of you might recognize this one. It is called Mooshka, a quilt story. I really like this book for a couple of different reasons. My granny makes quilts, and most of my friends have heard me talk about my granny, and all of my kids each have a quilt that my granny made for them, and it's got their names on it, and it's really special. So quilts are very special to me, and then I think everybody usually has something, a blanket or something like that, that is special to them that I think that they'll be able to recognize in this story. So, okay guys. Mooshka, a quilt story, is written and illustrated by Julie Paskis. I hope I said that right. I think that was pretty good. I love, love, love the illustrations in this book. And you can see right here, these are quilt squares. Quilts are usually made, well, they used to be made of scraps of fabric, and you can see the pieces that were put together, and they were pieced together to make big, beautiful blankets. Oh, it's so pretty. I just love this story. I hope you guys like this one too. Mooshka, a quilt story. Carla had an unusual quilt. She called it Mooshka. Oh, looks like she has a little cat too. Mooshka kept her warm on cold nights and had a nice toasty smell. Its colors and patterns made her room bright and cheery even on the rainiest of days. If there was something scary under the bed, it snuggled tight around her and made her feel safe. But that wasn't why Carla's quilt was unusual. Mooshka was different because it could talk to her. At bedtime, Mooshka always said, "Sweet dreams." First thing in the morning, Mooshka might say, "Pancakes." Oh, I love smelling fresh pancakes first thing in the morning. They do smell so nice. Carla's grandmother had made the quilt from scraps of old fabric that she called schnitz. As she sewed the pieces together, she told Carla stories. That's just like my granny used to do too. She would tell me stories of how she made the blocks. If Carla couldn't sleep in the middle of the night, she would put her hand on a schnitz and it would tell her its story. Mooshka would go on and on until Carla was fast asleep. She does look cozy, doesn't she? Each bit of fabric had a different way of speaking. The yellow schnitz spoke in a soft, cottony voice. I was the tablecloth at Grandmother's farmhouse, which was all right, especially when something sweet spilled. I was glad to be useful. But once, When your Aunt Marjorie was a girl, she made me into a tent and told fortunes beneath my golden folds. Now that was glorious. Look at that. That's an old tablecloth that they used to make a fort. That's fun. I bet you guys do stuff like that. The Blueschnitz had a sturdy voice. Grandpa Will lived on the other side of the mountain. He walked for 3 days over the hills and asked Lily Jane to marry him. I was the kerchief around his neck. When he reached the apple orchard, he went right up to her and said, I'm yours now or never. And he wiped his brow with me and didn't leave until she said yes. Ah. The Redschnitz spoke in a cheery tone. When your mother was just your age, she thought she could fly. She made me into a cape and jumped out of a cherry tree. Such fun! I fluttered and flapped in the wind. She broke her toe, but that wasn't my fault. Maybe she shouldn't have been trying to fly out of the cherry tree. That would be what I would think. Carla loved listening to the stories. Sometimes she would talk about something the quilt had told her, and her mother would say, Now, how did you know about that? One day, a little crib was moved into Carla's room. Hannah was in the crib. Oh, I believe Carla has a baby sister she is now sharing a room with. That night, Mooshka didn't say a word, not even sweet dreams. Carla could think of many words. Unfair, stinky, my room. But Mooshka was silent. Night after night, Carla would put her hand on a schnitz, hoping for a story, but Mooshka kept quiet. Carla tried to start the stories. Do you remember when you were the curtains to Dad's old sailboat? Do you remember when you were a Halloween costume for the dog? But Mooshka still didn't speak. Once, in the middle of the night, Hannah started to cry. She cried and cried. Carla squeezed her eyes shut and put her hands over her ears, but she could still hear Hannah crying. Oh, it's hard sometimes to share a room. Carla got out of bed. She picked up her quilt and carried it to the crib. She pulled Mooshka into the air and puffed it gently down on Hannah. Sister, said Mooshka. Hannah stopped crying and began to sniffle. Carla put her hand on the green schnitz and whispered, This is from the pajamas I wore when I was little, almost as small as you. When I was a baby, I would stand in this crib and crow like a rooster every morning. Hannah was quiet. Mooshka was quiet. And Carla went on and on. Oh, wasn't that a nice story? I love Mooshka. It reminds me of some of my favorite blankies I had when I was young. Now, Mooshka's a nice, sweet story. But our next story is about some, well, I don't want to say naughty, maybe just not very tired friends who aren't sure they're ready to go to sleep. You guys know how much I love robot stories. This one is called Beep Beep, Go to Sleep. It's written by Todd Tarpley and illustrated by John Rocco. I really like this one. It's a good one. Uh-oh. It looks like this little boy is chasing these robots. And he's wearing his pajamas. I hope all of you are wearing your pajamas. I like to look at the pictures a lot whenever I'm reading stories because the pictures help tell the story. Right here on the title page where it gives us the title of the story, Beep, Beep, Go to Sleep. And then it's got the author's name right here, Todd Tarpley. The illustrator's name right here, John Rocco. And it's just the title page, so there's no words besides those. But it looks like this friend is trying to get these friends to go to bed. Now I know all of you friends, when it's time for bed, you go right to your room to put on your pajamas, you brush your teeth, and you wash your face, and you go straight to bed with no fussing at all, right? I am sure you do. Oh, I'm so sure. All of you friends. 3 little robots. Time for bed. Time to dim your infrared. Brush your rotors round and round. Clean your shields. Oh, they're making a mess. And power down. Oh, they look so sleepy, don't they? You would think if they were so sleepy that they would just go right to bed. Oh, excuse me, friends. Quiet at last, not a peep. 3 little robots are... Beep, beep! Uh-oh. The light is on. Oh, no. Is something wrong? I need my coil. My sensor aches. I want more oil. Oh no. Whiny robots. Uh-oh. I'm sure none of you do that at bedtime. Better now than rest your head. 3 little robots back to bed. Oh, I hope they stay in bed this time. Quiet at last, not a peep. 3 little robots are... Beep, beep! Uh-oh. Oh, no. Poor friend looks so tired. What is it now? I need a light. My fan belt's loose. My bolt's too tight. Oh, robots. Oh, they're very fussy right at bedtime, aren't they? Oh, quiet at last. Not a peep. 3 little robots are... Beep, beep! Robots, are you still awake? Engines off, for goodness sake. No more beeping, no more talking, no more squeaking, no more squawking, no more blipping, blinking, boinking, winking, whirring, squinking, oinking. Oinking? Go to sleep! Oh, poor little boy is so tired. Quiet at last. Not a peep. 3 little robots are... Beep, beep! Oh, what now? You need what? What do you think they need, friends? Oh, they've got books. They need bedtime stories. Those are very important. Oh, a bedtime story. Somewhere there are robots beeping, buzzing, bouncing, squawking, squeaking, blipping, bopping, blinking, boinking, winking, whirring, even oinking. But not these robots, snuggled deep. They've finally put their boy to sleep. I hope you like that story, friends. I love that one. Okay, so now we've had 2 wonderful bedtime stories. I hope you had as much fun as I had sharing them with you. And now if you haven't brushed your teeth yet, make sure you brush your teeth, put your pajamas on, and get snuggled deep into your bed. I hope you have a great night's sleep and you dream of sunshine and blue skies. And I'll see you guys again soon. Good night.